We just had our biggest month ever last month, which was good. 466k cash collected with 417 in net profit. I mean, for me, security and freedom is what I do this for in the first place. One of my clients voice noted me and he was like, Will, how do I do your I don't care strategy? And I was like, well, do you care? He's like, yeah, I care a lot. And I was like, you can't do it yet. I don't like owning things. You know, I like to own the least amount of stuff physically possible. And one of our competitors does like more cash than us, but with a third of the net profit. So what's the bloody point, man? Again, we all want different things, don't we? You know, so some people want an office, want a team, want that thing. Maybe they're more extroverted. Me, I like to just not leave my apartment.
Fair enough.
You know, I guess we're all different.
Well, William, been a minute. We haven't caught up in like 6 months. So yeah, I reached out for a conversation. You graced me with your time. And we figured, you know, if we're going to have a coffee or something, might as well do it on live, you know?
100%. Dude,
so,
yeah,
I didn't really have an agenda going into this because I didn't want to make it like a traditional podcast because I don't have one.
Not yet.
So yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
But how's life been?
Yeah, things are good. Yeah, life is good. I'm feeling pretty solid, pretty well balanced. We just had our biggest month ever last month, which was good. 466k cash collected with 417 in net profit, which is the biggest cash collected month for this business and the biggest net profit month of my life, actually. In 8 years. Yeah.
Including the trading business?
Yeah, because that business, and it's funny, I posted a story on Instagram about this yesterday, all about profit margins and so on and so forth. But that old business, we were doing bigger numbers, but less profit. And now, and with a massive bloody team, loads of ads, loads of complexity. And now, God, it feels so nice to have built. I learned so many lessons from that business, and really I've just done the opposite now. So we're doing smaller cash collected, but way more profit. Like way more profit. And I think it's because I'm specifically focusing on profit now in this business. So what you focus on, you generally get, right? But
Interesting. What else is new with you because off camera, you just said you wanted to buy a villa. So talk me through that.
yeah, well, I mean, that's like one thing, which is really the next big thing that I'm kind of working on, is building like my own infrastructure. Right, and this will mean different things to different people. And I'd love to know yours, actually. I'll ask you yours in a sec. But for me, my like dream infrastructure is forever home in England, forever home in Dubai, forever home in Thailand or Bali or somewhere like that. And certain cash reserves, certain passive income from the property portfolio as well, which I've actually just hit that goal. And just having all the pieces in place that mean security and freedom, you know, because that's what, I mean, for me, security and freedom is what I do this for in the first place.
Interesting. Don't you feel like you already have that though?
Well, the goalposts, they definitely bloody move. That's one thing that I've definitely learned. You know, like I'll give you an example, right? When I sold the company last year, I bought what was then my dream apartment, right? And it was a two-bed apartment in an awesome building in the best part of the marina with really nice views. You know, it's like a all glass. It's just beautiful. And then after a few months, my girlfriend Lauren said, so where are we going to move to when we have a kid? And I was like, oh shit, I didn't plan for a kid. You know, I wasn't thinking that far ahead. And I was like, fuck, right. Well, now, I mean, I'm going to need somewhere bigger. And then I was like, right, how much bigger? And then I was going to buy my dream forever home, which was a penthouse for 12 million dirhams. I got an offer accepted on it. Someone offered 13, and I wasn't willing to beat 13. They wanted 13.2 for me to close. I was like, I'm not doing that. So I ended up buying a 4-bed in the same building that I was in, just a few floors higher, basically, which is the one that I just bought, that I live in now. I've rented the 2-bed out, which got me to my rent goal, because I had a rent goal of 35,000 a month in rent, and I've hit that now, which was nice to tick off. So yeah, now I wouldn't say it's my dream place. My dream place is like a villa or a penthouse.
What's the location?
For a villa, either the Palm or Jumeirah Islands, which is insane with the skyline view, is awesome. or for a penthouse anywhere in Marina, I reckon. But I've viewed so many, and it's so hard to get one to tick all the boxes with like good views and a good location and a good size and a good building. It's next to impossible to find one. But that's the mission that I'm on now, essentially, is, my next 3 moves is Dubai forever home, England forever home, Bali or Thailand forever home, certain cash reserves. And then that to me is like the end goal. But I'm aware that the end goal can change,
Yeah,
So-
I actually find it really interesting that you say that's your end goal, because from every interaction we've had, like for example, the dinners where we go to, like the group, if you get there late, it's like, oh, you know what, I was just building funnels.
Yeah.
I was having fun doing this. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's like you really enjoy work. So why not plan to work for a longer time?
Well, yeah, I do. I mean, I plan to work forever, because I really love it. But, and it's funny, man, because when I sold the business, I said, I'll tell you what, man, before selling the business, it was like I had this switch in my head, and it was like on this setting that was like fear, worry, anxiety, stress, wanting more money, wanting to buy my dream forever home, all this stuff. When I sold the business, the switch flicked the other way, and I was actually really calm. And like right now, I'm very calm. I'm very happy. I feel like I've achieved a lot of stuff. I own 10 properties outright. I've got, multi 7-figure net worth. I own everything outright. I've got good cash reserves, good business. I'm making 300-400K a month income, for God's sakes. So things are pretty bloody good. I'm not saying they're not good. But there's more that I want to do and achieve, for sure. But I do love the work anyway, and I won't stop. When I've got everything, I will never stop, because I just love it, man. I love these conversations. I love learning. I love investing. I love making money. I love I'm running like some. This is too private to share at the moment, but I'm running like a scientific business test all about YouTube. It's a bit complex.
Okay.
And we're just testing some cool ad stuff that we've never seen tested before. Just a bit of an experiment.
What do you mean cool ad stuff? Like paid, or what do you mean?
Yeah, it's paid ad stuff, but in just ways that I've never seen anyone do it before, with messaging that I've never seen anyone play with before. And it's kind of, my whole channel is just a fun experiment anyway. If you look at my videos, there's no thumbnails. When people say do thumbnails, there's no kind of good titles. It's just like text message titles.
Yeah.
The videos are just me literally sat with a coffee chatting with no plan or script. So I like messing around.
Yeah, I think like that's actually what I'm trying to strive towards now. It's like get to about 5 to 10 mil liquid net worth.
Yeah.
Because then it's like once you have that like fuck you nest egg,
Yeah.
do whatever the hell you want,
Yeah.
And I think that's when you unlock like authenticity. Because I think one of the things that really makes your content resonate with people like myself, or just like everyone in your audience, is just like, this guy's like just casual guy, you know what I mean? Just chilling, doing well in his life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really interesting. On the experiment side, are you able to disclose like the strategy?
No.
Okay.
No,
alright, fair enough. I won't
not
inquire.
yet. Because I just want to see, number one, I just want to see, does it work? And I'll know in about 30 or 45 days whether it works. If it does work, I'll start teaching it. If it doesn't work, I'll just have lost a few thousand, but it's a fun experiment. But dude, coming back to what you just said about that whole energy of you don't need more, so you do it for fun. I feel like the thing, because someone asked me this morning, one of my clients voice noted me, and he was like, Will, how do I do your I don't care strategy? And I was like, well, do you care? He was like, yeah, I care a lot. And I was like, you can't do it yet, because you've got to get to a certain place to have that energy. You've got to have good liquid cash, things invested, good passive income, a very good business. And when all the ducks are in a row, you'll be like, oh, sweet, things are good now. I can not go as hard, and you can kind of take on that energy. But for me, I think Naval said, when you've got like a goal or a target, it's like a, what do you say? It's like a commitment to yourself to not be happy until you've got it. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I don't know.
And I feel like when I've got goals, like I have now, it's like, yeah, I'm happy, but I'm not happy because I want these things. Whereas if I didn't want them, I would really not care. Does that make sense? Do you have anything in your head or in your life like that?
Kind of. The closest thing I can say is like, I was actually having a convo with Charlie about this. I was telling him about like how when the guy scratched my car and everything, right? And I knew that my entire goal always was to never get attached to like material shit, right? Because I think like, you know, if you have a car and then someone scratches it and you're like having a bitch fit about it, it's just like, why'd you buy it? You can't afford it. Clearly,
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So it was a bad financial move. So when that happened, I was like, oh, this is a test. You know, do I actually care or not? Because you could say on paper you don't care, but until something happens to it, you don't know. You know, so I was like a little bit bothered by it for like the drive home because I was like, oh, can't be asked to call the police. Definitely not going to like file the paperwork to claim insurance.
Yeah.
Right. That's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that means I passed the test. That's great. Right. But then when you don't care about something, you kind of enjoy it less by default as well. Because the more value you place on something, I feel like you get like a proportional amount of enjoyment.
Yeah, I've definitely experienced that recently. Like I was paying 2 service charges. This is so random, but I was paying 2 service charges yesterday for 2 of my apartments in Manchester. And then I looked at the bank account and I'd paid like 6.5K this year when it's meant to be like 4K a year. And I was like, I'm sure I've overpaid this because it's 4 a year, but I've paid 6.5. And I was just about to like email them or call them and I was like, fuck it, it's fucking 2 and who gives a fuck? You know, I'm making 400K a month. I don't care about 2.5 grand for the sake of calling them, being on hold, having to explain, give them numbers and shit. I was like, just who cares?
But I feel like that's slightly different though. Because for example, with that, I would probably want to have my assistant take care of it because because that's like a slippery slope to go down.
I know.
You know?
I
like
know.
who in my real estate portfolio is trying to fuck me?
Yeah, well, yeah. No, you're completely right. It's just the thing that went through my head was how much is my time worth? How long is this going to take to solve? It's probably correct anyway because it's very well documented. You know, so it's probably my mistake and it's just an error on my part or something. So I was like, forget it. But it kind of made me feel good though. So I was like, I can just let that go and I don't mind. You know, so I was like, it's actually, I like being able to do that. Because when I was broke, when I was younger, I would have been on that phone.
Hey, yo, where's my money?
I need that 2.5K back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember those days.
Yeah.
I remember the days where I would put £4 petrol in instead of 10.
Yeah.
Just to stretch because I just didn't want the money to leave my bank account.
I have a story for this. So I was in Serbia this year, right? And I was with my boy Dimitri, and he's a dev, but now he's got his like outbound agency and it's doing pretty good. He's like 30K a month or whatever. He was like my first ever student, funnily enough, from like 2020. So we linked up. We were gonna go skiing, and we pulled up to a petrol station. And he only filled his tank to like quarter of the way, and I was like, "Why'd you do that?" Like, I thought it was a mistake. And then that was when then he explained. He was like, "Oh, it's just a habit, because like, you know, because then you don't have to like commit so much cash up front." And I think it's just because like actually, if I really deep it, since I turned 20, I've never been broke.
Yeah.
Because 18 to 20, I didn't have a business. I was like, not on the streets, but I was just broke, right? But then 20, I did pretty well first year, and then on and on. So I was like, wow, like holy shit, I haven't had to face these problems in like 5 years.
Yeah, it's funny to think back, man. But it's nice to say goodbye to those behaviours. Also, I went to Bali for 2 months and I didn't take my watch this time. So I was like, I'm going to leave the watch at home and just see how I feel without it, you know. And I missed it.
Really?
I missed it, yeah, but not for other people because there's no one to judge you in. I mean, I'd probably get worse judged with a Rolex in Bali. People are like, why are you wearing that in Bali? For God's sakes, you know. But no, I missed it because I like it for myself, man. I truly bought this for myself.
I think it's like you wear it for so long. It's like, you know, when you wear a ring and your skin starts to grow around it.
It becomes part of you.
Yeah, I think so. Because I actually, to do some research for this convo, I saw you also have a Patek Nautilus, right? The rose gold one.
Not anymore.
Ah, okay.
No.
Yeah, I saw it on an old story. I was like, oh, he never wears it. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm glad that you've said that because I don't like owning things. You know, I like to own the least amount of stuff physically possible, like clothes, shoes, watches, you know, cars. I've got one watch, one car. Not really. I've really bought it for Lauren anyway.
You got a car now?
It got a Range Rover like a few months ago, man.
Oh, no way.
It's nice. It's really nice.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
Yeah, it's kind of just for Lauren.
Why
really.
don't you drive it today here?
I prefer the scooter.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Literally. Like, 'cause this is the thing. If I was like more of a lifestyle-y, showy-offy guy, I'd probably bring like a videographer and drive the Range Rover. But I don't care, man.
Yeah, fair
You know,
enough.
I really don't care about clothes as such and cars and stuff. That might change. But I've just never been into that stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. I think it's like when you have the option to like choose a more luxury thing, but then you go with what you actually like, that's the time it really tests you if you're like a materialistic person or not.
Yeah, for sure. But I think if I'm going to buy something, I'll get the best of it. Not white T-shirts, clearly. These are like fucking £12 T-shirts. But if I was like, I said to Lauren, if we're going to get a car, well, we've got to get a bloody good car, you know? So maybe there's still a hint of like wanting the best in there. I don't know.
Well, obviously, because, you know, if the difference between a bad car and a good car is like pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Dude, how's business going for you?
Going well. Agency, I think since we last spoke, I must have been on like maybe like 130. Now we crossed 200 consistently.
Nice.
So that's been good. Margins
Nice.
consistent. I'm really looking for. So I developed a software. Looking forward to rolling that out. It's like higher ticket B2B stuff because I realized like I should definitely stick within the email space. Same thing on the coaching. That's why I bought emailmarketer.com as well. I think I could probably make my first like 8 figures like solid through just emails.
Nice.
I don't really see the need to kind of like broaden out because the agencies has grown. Like we've never had a down year. Like this year I think we're going to close on like 1.7, 1.8 cash.
Nice. Can't complain.
So yeah, not bad.
Nice. And
Not
how's life?
It's good. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. Every year for the past 5 years, September, October, November, first half of November is always hell. It's so busy. Like this year, we grew from like 160 to 210 in a month and a half. And obviously, with agency, it's like
That's not easy.
it's pretty brutal because the deliverables require human resources,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
we tried to anticipate the growth, but this year we actually I was on the radar of the largest agency in Europe, and they started taking my team members. They took 4 employees this year.
No way.
Yeah, so that was a piss take because
Damn.
like in the busiest month we had 2 churn, right? And I was like, oh, it was brutal. So I was like, okay, how do I solve this?
Yeah.
And this solution was actually sick. So what I did was I kind of like sat down and I was like, okay, we've never had team churn outside of being poached by this agency. What do? I could either just be like, yo, I'll swing you like 3 G's a month to fuck off and leave my team alone. But then I was like, actually, I could try taking their team members because they have like 150 people on the team.
Competition begins.
Yeah, but then I was like, I don't really want to go into like a war.
A war.
It's not like a war.
Yeah.
Because there's
Yeah.
there's like 2 small businesses hassling between like a couple million, but like
Well, it's funny that you should say that because
Yeah.
I've had something similar recently. So I didn't really see him as a competitor. He's part competitor, part friend, right? And he reached out to me and he was like, Will, are you still doing your mastermind? I was like, yeah, I'm still doing mastermind. He was like, I'm starting a mastermind, so I'm going to have to ask something uncomfortable. I was like, oh, no worries. What's on your mind? He was like, listen, delete the testimonial that I gave to you, please. Stop talking about me in your YouTube videos and stuff like that. And it was a bit like, whoa. You know, I didn't see that coming. It was very uncomfortable, and it really kind of made me a bit angry and a bit confused and a bit. But same thing. And he actually said this to me. He was like, "But dude, it's just business.
Yeah.
You know, we are competitors, and you know, we both want to do well, and we both serve the same market. So,
out of curiosity, who is it?
no, I can't tell you. I absolutely
Do
can't.
I know him?
Maybe.
Okay.
But you know, and I think it's damaged the friendship a bit.
Okay,
and
interesting.
The reason that I bring this up is because you know how you just said, "Oh, I was thinking of like going after their team," you know, and going, you know, kind of fighting back. I was a bit like, I had a bit of that as well. I was like, right, I'm going to fucking go harder. I'm going to, go bigger. And for a very long time, I was very nonchalant. I was like, I'll make videos for fun. We'll run a bit of ads. We'll get whatever clients we get and have fun. But it really lit the fire under me again. And it was like, right, fuck this shit. I'm going to fucking go hard now. I'm going to, take this shit to the next level. And I was like, I'm still a bit like, but I don't really want to do it though. I'm so happy with where things are at. But it set me off. Probably like that set you off, right?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, this year I was speaking with a really good friend of mine, Kian, about this, and I was like, ever since I crossed like the 100K a month mark with agency, I realized like there's actual competition, because I think on a smaller scale, there's not really competition because the market is big enough to facilitate like thousands of like people doing like 10, 20K a month. Like the market is fucking huge for that. But like once you try to like break into the mid 7 figures, I feel like it starts to get a bit more competitive. And then this was really interesting to me because we had one guy tried to take our clients. We had one employee try to take my clients. That was crazy.
Mad.
Yeah, so we had that was a really interesting experience actually. It was super stressful. But I would actually say losing team members to this agency was a bigger stress because it happened consistently like over a while.
Yeah.
So at first, I didn't realize it was them. It wasn't really by the third team member. I checked their LinkedIn. I was like, everyone that's left my team is on their LinkedIn now. Interesting. Okay. So I didn't want to get into a war with him. But then I was like, because their team is big enough to the point where it's not actually the founders doing the recruitment, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I should just take their HR because clearly they're doing a good job, right?
Well, I mean, look, you've kind of got to separate the emotion from the strategy because there's a bit of both in there. There's a bit of like, those bastards, fuck, I'm going to get them back. But then poaching is what kind of happens.
Yeah.
Like our setter that just came on with us was working for one of our competitors, right? And he actually brought in all of the competitors' stuff. He brought the tracking sheets, he brought their VSL, their full strategy, all the messages and stuff. And that was actually from, I won't say name, but it was so helpful. Just from a strategic thing, I was like, wow, this has just saved me so much time, so much energy. And it actually taught me the value of poaching A players from people that are either as big as you or bigger. And that was my first ever time that's happened. I was like, wow, I understand why poaching is so powerful now.
Bro, completely. I took the head of HR. They only had one person that's been there for like 4 years that took all of my team members. So it was really funny. I just sent a LinkedIn request. I was like, hey, look, I'll be honest. You probably know who I am because you took 4 of my employees. I know you do a really good job, but this is capitalism. Let me make you an offer. Can we have a call?
It's business.
Yeah, no, bro, this hire is crazy. Like this person has brought a lot of structure because previously we didn't have a tracking system for PTO. We didn't have a really like a career development plan. It was just like at a smaller scale, it's basically me promising the employee like, yo, bro, we're going to grow. I promise you.
It's
like,
funny, isn't it?
Like I promise there's going to be management roles created and blah, blah. But now we have like proper structures in place.
Yeah, that reminds me. I was in Sam Oven's quantum school group like last week. And one of the members posted, I can't remember the name of this graph, but it was like this 3-stage graph. And it was like, right, you start out, you mess around, and you just make shit happen. That's kind of phase 1, is just get it working, get some money. Phase 2 is maybe from like 30, 40, 50K a month to maybe $500,000 a month. And that's the phase where you've got to hire, you might poach, you build your systems, you get it all right. And then he was saying this is where most people stop and then they fall off. But to get to the real big numbers, you've literally got to have what you just said. You've got to have a full org chart. You've got to have, a 3 to 5 year plan. You've got to have a step-by-step plan for the year. You've got to have all your team in the right seats, only A players, ideally, really genuinely great product. And you've really got to go almost to the uncomfortable level of management meetings. And that's something that I'm trying to avoid right now because I don't find that stuff fun, but I know that if I want to go to proper numbers, which to me is like $1 million, $2 million a month, it's got to be done.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I mean, the bigger the business gets, I want it as a skill. Like, I want to be able to say, oh, I know how to poach the right person to have them build a whole department. I think that's probably the next biggest unlock for me, because I'm okay at building everything myself. I would say I'm actually very mediocre, to be honest, because I get like pretty lazy with it, because I'm not a person that can be bothered to cross the T's and dot the I's.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have the patience for it, because I feel like I just want to jump, because I know how it's done. It's like when you look at a math problem, right? You know the answer, you don't want to show the working.
I don't know the answer to math problems.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll give you some strategic shit, and you give me some strategic shit that you've kind of discovered recently. So one thing that's working really well for us right now is, again, I took on that setter, and we started doing one Instagram reel per day, one reel a day, with ManyChat and the setter, double call volume.
Interesting.
Insane. Absolutely insane. I wish. I've been talking shit.
So it's just like comment DM and I'll send you this, or what?
Yeah, man. So many people told me to do this.
Okay.
They were like, oh, you should do short form with ManyChat, get a setter in your inbox to message them and chat to them and message your followers and stuff. I was like, no, it's too pushy. It's too, I don't want short form people. But dude, fucking hell. That's been one of the most asymmetric, such a small, easy thing with a monstrous game-changing outcome.
Okay, interesting. So basically, ManyChat automation to people who comment?
Yeah, so basically, just look at any one of my reels, and there's like a bit of copy about the reel, and then it will say like, comment the word, say discover, and I'll send you a free training all about what the reel is about, basically. Then we send them a YouTube video, so then we put them into the YouTube ecosystem and cookie them over there, and then my setter will then follow up from there. There's like an auto message.
Oh, okay, right.
Thanks for commenting. Here's your training.
Yeah.
Click this link to view the training.
But there's no like request to reply or like to engage. Oh, okay. No. This is very cool.
And then my setter, like acting as me, will just be like, hey, dude, did you check out the training? How was it? Did you like it? Any questions? Why are you following me? How long have you been following me? And we'll just converse with them, qualify them, and set them. Basically.
Nice. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm launching my coaching, and that's going to be implemented.
You should do that for sure. And it's so easy because you can just cut up podcasts.
Yeah.
Like this as well. So it's like no more work, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So strategically,
give me some sauce. Give the audience some sauce.
This year, honestly, it's just literally 100% been about team. So earlier this year, in terms of on the acquisition side, we really like cranked it up a notch. But that has been through, like earlier this year when I was like, I'm going to build a coaching program teaching people how to acquire organically, or like we were bouncing around a bunch of like offers, right?
Yeah.
That I could teach. And the biggest thing that I kind of thought of that I thought was like a really great idea is like this whole notion that I came up with of like one-to-many acquisition systems, right? Because on the come up, when like 0 to maybe 30K for me was 100% just outreach. It's just monotonous, tedious crap, right?
Yeah.
To just like basically like whore myself out to anyone that wanted to pay me.
Yeah.
Right? But then like beyond that point to where we are now, it's always been about attraction. So the idea of one-to-many is like when you're running an ad, it's a one-to-one type of thing. Because I'm showing, well, actually no, ads is a poor example of this, but like, for example, cold email or cold outreach or messaging, because you can only message one person. So you put a coin in, a coin comes out, Whereas one-to-many is like, we've unlocked YouTube. YouTube brings us clients. Partnerships has been the most fruitful thing I've unlocked this year. Like, because I was thinking, how I did my lead gen was, I was like, okay, the leads that I want in my spreadsheet is on someone else's spreadsheet already. Like it could be on yours, right? If we were, let's say, if you ran an ads agency, you're going to be cold emailing the same list, right? So I was like, okay, so rather than me paying for like bullshit softwares, just be like, contact a friend. It's like, yo, how big is your list? 20K? Bet. All right, I'll give you 20K. You give me 20K. We double it. Boom, 40. And then from 40, you go to another friend. It's like, how many do you have? 40. It'll remove duplicates and blah, blah. It might end up being 60.
Yeah.
So I built like a 100K list in a week doing that for like $800.
Damn.
Because I had to buy the initial 10K to trade with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that made me realize like, oh, actually, it just made me want to hack everything. So I was like, okay, so who has the clients that I want, right? Agencies, sure, but it's like the rep is on the line, blah, blah. Coaches. So right now we have a partnership with Suits, Sanuha, like the two Nigerian dudes on YouTube. That's like vlogging. You don't know them?
No?
They own Icon Amsterdam. They do like 30 mil a year with the clothing.
God knows, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. They're like popping on vlogs.
Listen, do I look like I'm interested in clothing
I
brands?
guess not.
Oh.
No. But we got a partnership with them, and that's
Nice.
been really fruitful. So it's like we unlocked partnerships. So that's on the acquisition side. But on the team side, it's been formalizing training, like employee onboarding. Because I would say my first, I guess, like 10 team members, they didn't really receive any formalized training. We gave them a course to go through, but it was like learn on the job.
Yeah.
But the issue with that is people end up developing their own habits.
Yeah.
And that's not as scalable as like, because we can't necessarily productize the service, right? And we realized that when we looked at like how individuals were doing segmentation and the way they were creating the same segments but differently. And I was like,
Dude, you know what?
the fuck?
You're smarter than you look.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm only joking. No, this is some deep shit. This is some strategic shit, man.
Yeah. So we realized that, and I was like, okay, we need like a week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 training plan with like checklists. So now we have like 130 spreadsheet checklists that like people need to check through, and then we say you're qualified, and then we start deploying them and that kind of stuff. And that's why I wanted to hire HR as well, because I was like, one of the things that I want to pay more attention to as a company is like individual goals and everything. Because I think
culture.
I think one of the things a lot of businesses don't take seriously is like the individual goals of the team members, because their interests don't align. Because what is my interest? Make money, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, I need to align myself with them. Otherwise, they're just going to be like, I don't feel cared about.
Exactly.
You know?
Dude, one thing that's worked... Well, in fact, let me ask you this first. Do you have a company mission statement?
No, we're actually in the middle of developing one now.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I should even say this because on public. Anyways, I don't really care if my team watches this. I hope they don't though. But like, I was on a call with Adam and he was like, you know, like we really need to have like values as a company and like mission or whatever, because otherwise it's like there's no real like North Star.
I don't agree.
Know?
I don't agree. You don't need to have a mission and vision and values.
Okay.
So who was it that was telling me this? I'm on the cusp of potentially hiring an account manager, right? And he was telling me about the company that he's just left after 3.5 years. Obviously, I won't name the company, but super successful company in kind of our space, right? Ran by one of the biggest players. And I was telling him about our mission statement. And he said, yeah, that's very similar to the old one, which was really just, listen, we're here to make money. We're here to have fun. We don't have some grand vision for the company. We will do it for as long as we can do it, you know. So it's not like Microsoft. It's not. It's like a fucking, you know, forever huge corporation company. Because our mission statement is make money, have fun, and help people. Right. Because that's what I want to do. And that's, you know, after selling the company, I was walking around my apartment one day thinking, why don't I just go to Bali and switch everything off and chill? And I was thinking, well, what do I want? Well, I want to make more money because I want to build more wealth. Okay. I want to have fun now, right? Because the last business was not fun and it almost killed me. I was like, right, I want to have fun now and only do fun things that I really like and want. And I want to help people, because if I'm not helping people, then you just feel empty. You just feel, why do you even exist? You know, you've got no purpose or anything. So I was like, right, well, that's just what I'm going to do then. And the team know that. And this new guy obviously knows that. And he was like, yeah, that's what I want. I don't want to work for a corporation with some cheesy made-up mission, right? I just want to work for a real company with a real founder who's going to be honest with me. And I'm honest with the team. I'm like, listen, if you're on this team, then you're here to make money for yourself. We'll have fun together so that it's meaningful, and we'll really genuinely go out of our way to help people so we all feel good about what we're doing. you know? So it might not be the most corporate fancy mission statement, like impact 1,000 lives, change the world, buy some doves, fucking, I don't know, got some shit like that. But at least it's real and genuine, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. I always thought like corporate values were kind of nonsense. But because like at the end of the day, right? And it comes back to the whole like illusion of stability that you have with like a 9 to 5. Because like, bro, like most CEOs or founders, if their pockets are hurting, you're gone before their pockets feel any like real pain. You know what I mean? Yeah. So stability is kind of like an illusion created by it's just like
the system.
Yeah, the system. Yeah. You know? So mission statements, like you can it's nice to say like, oh, we're going to change communication. This is why I don't like a lot of SaaS companies, because they are like very, it's just nonsensical, you know, like, oh, we're going to revolutionize AI. It's like, okay, do you have a history of revolutionize anything? No. You're broke. Like, what are you talking about?
Your mission should be pay your rent.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like
mission statement: pay rent, eat food, wear clothes.
Yeah. Literally, it's like wake up on time. That's your mission statement right now. You know. But like, I find those mission statements really cringe. But when you said yours, I actually really resonate with it. I think we might just like end up copying it, because I sat down with Adam, and we were like, we need some sort of mission to kind of like keep everyone aligned, right?
Yeah.
Because internally, it's all well and good, because we know both our motivations: make money, more the better, you know, without burning our rep, because like, you know, reputation matters a lot, and how you do that is through helping people, right? Not to say, you know, if I my rep maintained, I would start like just ripping people off, because I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel good. But I like how simple your mission statement is, and I really resonate with it.
It's just genuine.
Yeah,
100%. It's just real. But again, like I was saying earlier, it's hard to be real when you're struggling and you're at the start. You know? So I don't think when you start, again, in terms of the levels of business, if you're new and you just want to make 50K a month or something, you know, then you don't need this stuff. But if you want to go really far, really, really far, you kind of do need it, you know. And what you were talking about, it really impacted me when you said, you know, we're building like hiring protocols and training protocols and stuff, because that's the shit that sets the big guys apart, is that seriousness, attention to detail, caring about the team, properly ramping the team, having those systems in place. Again, these are the different things between the small guys and the big guys. So the fact that you're doing that says a lot about you, you know?
Oh, I appreciate that. Very nice compliment.
It is what it is. The truth is the truth, man.
But yeah, so this head of HR, like poaching the heads.
Let's not go back to poaching.
Bro, no. It's not about poaching it, but it's like, it's like the symptom of the problem is we were losing to this company, right? Team members.
Yeah.
And then there's so many different solutions, but then like I think the higher level you go, you have to pick out the highest leverage one. And the highest leverage one is take whoever's chopping your team members, just bring it. Like, have you ever seen White Gold?
What is that?
The window salesman.
No, I don't think so.
It's like they sell PVC windows, and it's about an office of... Bro, you should watch it. It's such a funny show.
Oh, I think I have seen just one or two episodes.
James Buckley, the guy who played Jay in Inbetweeners,
I have seen it. I have seen it. Yeah.
Have you seen all of it?
No.
Okay. No. So this is how I solved my problem, and it was by a quote in that series from the mob boss, Ronnie Farrell or whatever. And he goes, if someone's, I'm paraphrasing, he was like, if someone's taking your business, what do you do?
Take theirs.
No. And then Vincent, the main character, was like, oh God, because it's a mob boss. He was like, you kill him. And he was like, no, you idiot. You offer him a job.
Ah.
So I remember that quote. I was like, oh. Yeah. So that was when I came up with the solution of like,
yeah,
I need an HR person because I want someone to like track shit like employee birthdays.
Kill them.
yeah. But Because there's so many things in the business. Like I want to show that I care about people's birthdays. When in reality, do I really know? Because but I think like in a big company, there needs to be someone that does that because like on an individual level, I might not care, but how do you make someone feel special? You care, right?
100%.
But I don't want to fake that caring, but I can employ someone to care.
Yeah.
So it's the head of people role.
That's completely true. Yeah, I think like I just bought one of my reps an Apple Watch a few weeks ago. When I bought in the watch, I gave £500 to the other one because I didn't want them to, feel bad if I'm only kind of treating one. But these little things, man, goes a long way for sure. Makes a difference.
Absolutely. What are you looking forward to?
Well, what am I looking forward to? Well, in the shorter term, I'm looking forward to a holiday next year.
Okay.
I just want to, there's loads of things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to growing the business. I'm looking forward to growing the YouTube. I'm looking forward to making more money, carrying on having fun, working with good people. One of my favorite things to do, it's a very geeky thing, but I like to get testimonials from the clients. It's so awesome when you get testimonials, especially famous clients, because I'm lucky because I get to work with some sick people like Mike Thurston, Jordan Welch, whoever else. But yeah, that always feels good, So some business stuff, some personal stuff, It's weird. It's a difficult question to answer. I wasn't really expecting that.
Interesting.
What about you?
I didn't expect to be asked back. Oh, you know what's crazy?
What?
Last night, I impulsively decided that I might buy a property.
Well, yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
So I might actually buy it this week. I'm thinking about it. So it's a off plan.
Yeah.
It's in what is it? Jumeirah? No, not Jumeirah. Damac Islands.
I've seen
Damac
that.
Islands.
Looks good.
Handover 2028. Townhouse, 4-bed. It's like
Nice.
2.4 mil dirhams.
Nice.
I just pulled a wad of cash from the business now. So I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. And one of my goals next year is like consistently invest. So yeah, but there's not really any crazy opportunities that look super attractive, but I suppose there never really is a good time.
Yeah, I don't because you can't time the market. No one knows what's going to happen to the S&P in a year or any fucking decade, quite honestly. Real estate as well. You know what I'm like. I love real estate. Ever since I ever started making money, I've saved it and bought real estate with cash. And obviously, I just bought that one is the 10th property that I own now, which is cool, which feels like kind of a landmark moment. But yeah, I love real estate. It's the only investment where you get paid twice, right? It goes up in value and you get rent as well. So I love it. Off plan is a bit scary to me.
Me too. Because it could not get completed if
Things
there's
could
a
go
war.
wrong. Yeah.
There's a risk factor in there that I think a lot of people downplay.
I would just buy. My thesis is pretty simple, boring. The more boring and safe it is, the more attractive it is to me. I was saying this to a buddy that's also just bought an apartment here in the marina, and we were saying, blue chip buildings only, right, where it's built and it's got a good reputation. Like Marina Gate is one of the best. Stella Maris is one of the best. Address Beach Resort is one of the best. Right, so building, they're there. You can view them, you can see them. You know the reputation. You know the kind of people that live in them. You know the actual rent that you can truly get for them, and on and on. So
you know what's crazy? One of my local friends was telling me about this investment opportunity, because I want to bring it up because you said blue chip only. This is as like, what's the opposite of blue chip like?
Pink sheets.
Yeah, pink sheets. This is as pink sheet as real estate can get.
That's not good.
Labor camps.
No.
Yeah. He was walking me through the numbers of labor camps.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do it just because it just feels dirty.
It feels dirty,
I'm not
doesn't
gonna
it?
lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I don't want to go to there, I don't want to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but the numbers are crazy. So, 3 mil US will get you a labor camp, right? That produces 600K a year in rent.
That's a good ROI.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good ROI.
And the risk is incredibly low because you're signing longer term contracts with companies like construction companies, etc.
Yeah.
And if you believe in the growth of Dubai, it's gonna ROI. And like the actual maintenance is you outsource it to a company or whatever, and the company pays for rent. It's kind of like, in the UK, there's like that whole scheme of like government housing,
Yeah.
or like Section 8 in the US.
Yeah, yeah.
But labor camps.
Dude, that's probably the number one dirtiest investment I've ever heard in my life. But I mean, it kind of makes me think. Part of me is saying, well, it's a business, in a way. I think you may or may not get bad karma for doing that. But at the end of the day,
That's what I think as well.
Someone's got to own it.
It's true.
Someone's gotta
But then
fucking own it.
also it's like, if I have a business like that, I would want to be able to walk into it and feel
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, it's
know?
a bad product.
Yeah.
That's basically it's not a scam, but I can imagine it's similar to selling like a scam. You just wouldn't feel good about it.
Yes. But on the other hand, it's like, that's the budget that they have and that's all they can afford.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. True.
So I wanted to share that because I was like, pink sheets.
Pink sheets. Yeah, no, dude, just again, like, I think the more I think about this, I think my biggest value is security. Just being secure, having that peace of mind that things are as solid as they can be. And buying real estate with cash is what gives me that feeling, because I was having cigars with a buddy the other night and I was telling him how big the portfolio is. It was like, yeah, you could just sell that, and have all that money in the bank, or you get all the rent from it. Like, the money is still there in the property,
What do you mean? Sell all that?
Yeah, so he was saying, like, how much is the portfolio worth? I was like, this number. And he was like, that's cool because all that money is like safely locked away in the property, number one. You're getting the rent from it, number two. It's going up in value, number three. And if you ever needed, say, $1 million, just sell one of the properties. You can get $1 million in cash back out. So it's like, it's just, it makes, it feels solid.
For sure. Are you planning to buy more so in Dubai now or still in the UK?
Dubai, I think. Yeah. Because I love how, the property, I hope it carries on going up like it has. The 2-bed that I bought for like £924,000. And I got offered 1,150,000 for it a couple of weeks ago, which is a year later, which is insane.
It's not bad.
That's
really good.
That's insane.
It's like 20.
It's ridiculous.
4% or something.
Yeah, and I've just rented it out, and the tenant is paying me £4,500 a month for that unit, paid quarterly, as well, which is sick. That's another thing I like about Dubai is the quarterly checks as well, because it's just a bit more, again, safety. Really, you get it, and they're good for a quarter. But equally, that you're giving someone a good product because it's a bloody great apartment. And Dubai as well. Like, I've got houses in the UK that rent out for £600 a month. Like £900 a month, right? Which is pretty low.
I feel like that. If I had that, it would just be a headache to own.
No, it's not a headache at all.
No,
not at all, man. No.
Have you ever faced a problem with squatters?
No, and touch bloody wood. I won't. People say this all the time, like, oh man, you've got so many properties. It must be so hard. It must be so stressful. That is a false belief. Like, it's not hard at all, thankfully. But yeah, I'd rather invest a bigger chunk and get £4.5K a month than buy like a 90K house and get £600 a month. Even though you're getting a better ROI over there for sure, it's just better, in my opinion. So I think, again, I'm going to get a forever home here soon, which will either be a villa or a penthouse, depending on where me and Lauren are at. And I'll definitely just keep buying real estate for the rest of my life.
Okay.
I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What are the moves that you're making to kind of grow the business at the moment?
Setter, more paid ads, this new YouTube strategy thing that we're playing with, which I'll teach if it works. Better YouTube videos, and we're raising the prices a little bit in January, and that's about it, really.
Interesting.
Yeah, just kind of more of what's working.
Interesting.
I think.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't wait to get into SaaS and coaching because like the delivery component is so much simpler.
Yeah.
Because agency is like, oh man, 25 people to do like 200 something thousand. It's crazy. Like the revenue per employee is like so low. It's like 10 Gs. Whereas if you look at like an Apple or whatever, it's like 2 mil, So can't wait. Very juicy stuff.
Coaching is the one, man. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're cash flow businesses. Can you sell them? Well, obviously, yeah. But really, they're just simple, easy cash flow businesses. You know, but up to a point. And again, like we're at that point now where if we want to go to the next level, we've got to have the hiring protocols and management and so on and so forth. And I don't want to fight that battle, quite honestly. I just want to keep it as, because, you know, again, I posted this on Instagram yesterday. One of our competitors does like more cash than us, but with a third of the net profit. So what's the bloody point, man? You know, what's the point having a 35-person team and making 200K? We can have a 5-person team and make 400K. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So keeping it lean is a mission that I'm on for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not actually opposed to growing a bigger team now because like I want to be able to say I can run it and I can build it. I think that's the next phase would probably to be build in like the coaching business as well as the SaaS to make it super, super lean. Yeah.
You've got to remember, like sometimes I think we get lost in regards to what the business is for, and the business is really for net profit. You know, it's like it's to make money, isn't it? You know, and I think sometimes people, as stupid as it sounds, I think they forget that, and I forgot that in the last business. I was like, just how far can we scale? It's weird to think back at kind of how stupid that is, but yeah, I wish that I'd just focused on profit in the last business, and it would have been better, faster, easier, more fun. I probably would have exited for more money. But I guess there's a bit of ego as well, isn't there? Because you want like a big business, a big team, good. You're good at running it. You know, do you think you'll ever exit, by the way?
The agency.
Yeah.
It's not on the cards, to be honest. I have thought about it a lot. Actually, not necessarily in the last like 3 to 6 months. It was more prior. I was like, oh, actually, I can build it to like 3 mil a year EBITDA and then get like a 3 to 5x multiple on it and boom, out. But to build to 3 mil EBITDA, I need 6 mil in revenue, which is 500K a month.
Yeah.
That's like an 80-person team, you know what I mean? So the trade-off for me doesn't necessarily make sense. But also I was thinking about like, what would I do after I sell? I'd have to build another team for the next business when I already have the team, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'll keep on running it until I don't want to do it anymore. And then sell it or close it down if I have something already better going and I can't be asked to go through the due diligence process. But I enjoy running it right now because I got closers now. So I'm pretty much out of the sales calls for like by about 50%. And yeah, once I'm outside of the closing, bro, it's just like all hands weekly meeting, catch up with my COO, catch up with the closers, and then maybe speak to the HR girl as well. And that's it.
You've got the dream. I think we've kind of both got the dream to an extent, haven't we? I mean, you know, how many people would love to have one of our businesses? You know, I think a lot.
Well, yeah, I agree. Who doesn't want to make hundreds of thousands a month?
Yeah. do you think that, dude, we've got Sabri Subi speaking at our mastermind in March. I can't wait to ask him about, like, because he runs it.
He has a monster, bro.
Yeah, he's got a monster. I want to know, you know, like, where's the revenue at? Where's the profit at? How big is the team? What's the mission? Are you going to exit one day? I've got so many questions for him, man.
Have you seen his office in Australia? Yeah. Like the sales floor?
Yeah.
It's fucked, bro.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and it just looks and feels like such a solid, well-built, well-ran, long-term. You know, all the teams seem very happy and focused. It's just a great business, man. This is why I wanted to fly him out here to spend some time. I think he's certainly one of my favorite entrepreneurs. But yeah, it's just fascinating that because it's hard with the agency, you know. And part of me is like, dude, just sell info, just fuck it, just because you're gonna make probably similar profit, but way easier.
Yeah,
it almost feels like masochism to me.
Yeah, you could lay off 80% of the team, keep the closers, and boom, that's it. Kind of the races.
Kind of, but again, we all want different things, don't we? You know, so some people want an office, want a team, want that thing. Maybe they're more extroverted. Me, I like to just not leave my apartment.
Fair enough.
You know, so I guess we're all different.
How's the fitness going?
Up and down.
Okay.
Very, very up and down. Like, have you ever gone through Sam Ovens programs?
Not completely.
No. No. He had this exercise. It's a graph with like a line going up, down, up, down, up, down, with a baseline in the middle. And he would talk about, for all elements of life, sometimes you're pushing hard, you're doing really well, but then you'll let off the gas and come back down.
Oh, it's like the standards thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you won't fall below your lowest standard.
Exactly. And dude, I just feel like I go up and down on that. Like I'll have 7, 10, 12, 14 days. I'm at the gym every morning. My sleep is perfect. My diet is perfect. No alcohol. And I feel fucking awesome. I'll get loads of work done and I'll have like a really good period. And then I have such a good period that I'm like, dude, I am on fire. I'm looking so good, feeling so good. I'll have a few days off.
It's always those fucking few days off, bro.
It's always the few days off.
Yeah.
And then I'll like get a bottle of brandy. I'll like clear my schedule, stay up late, like smoke cigars, have drinks, watch shit, on YouTube and stuff, eat bad food and go back down again.
Yeah.
And then after 2, 3, 4, 5 days, I'll be like, fuck this shit. I've had enough. I'm back on it, back on the next cycle. So in some areas of my life, I am disgustingly fucking disciplined. Like when it comes to business and money, nothing is stopping me. No, I will murder when it comes to business and money and wealth. But fitness, man, if I had that same level of discipline in fitness, I would look like Mike Thurston.
I knew you were going to say that.
but I just don't, because
Interesting.
The truth is, right, here's one thing that I've learned.
I feel like you don't really care.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I was about to say. Like, if I cared, I would have it. Because anything that I want, I get, right? Because I just don't stop until I fucking got it. And I don't really care. And my own actions have actually taught me, because in my head, I'm like, no, I want this, I want to achieve this. But my actions have taught me that I don't.
That's like a nice to have. It's like,
it's a nice to have.
Everyone wants to have more money.
Yeah.
Or you're going to work for it. No, not really. Just want more.
Exactly. And I mean, like this shape is like it's not amazing, but it's not terrible. It's just okay.
Yeah.
And I'm okay.
You have lost weight though. Ever since I first met you, you've actually dropped quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie.
That's down to Lauren, quite honestly,
Okay.
because she just she's not here at the moment. She's in England. But when Lauren's around, if I go to order like a takeaway or something, she's like, "Do you really need that?"
Oh.
I'm like, nah, not really. Or if I'm like, I stay in bed in the morning, she's like, "You said you were gonna go to the gym." I was like, fuck, all right, I'm gonna go. And like on a Sunday, usually, I might fuck around on a Saturday, go to a beach club, have drinks, stay up late. But if she's with me and it will get to 10 p.m, she's like, "Oh, we said we were going for breakfast together tomorrow. Like, you're gonna be hungover, you're not gonna want to go." And I'm like, that's true. So Lauren really helps me. She pisses me off, but it helps me.
Interesting. Interesting. I found that actually with fitness for me, I don't care that much either. So actually but I know that I want to go in that direction.
Yeah.
So for me, the key has just been to like drop the intensity, but like, so that way you can keep consistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cutting calories is actually not that difficult, I realized.
Yeah, I don't eat too bad. I mean, I've got a treadmill desk, which helps.
Do you actually use it? I bought that
every
thing.
day.
Really?
Every single day.
Interesting.
Every single day. I wake up, right? And I wake up, get showered, put my gym stuff on, go in the office, get on the treadmill desk for an hour, and I check my email, check my WhatsApp, check my schedule, just clean everything up, go to the gym for 45 minutes, come home, right, shower, and then start the work day kind of thing. And then usually later in the day, I'll get back on it again for 1 or 2 hours. So honestly, pretty much every day I'm doing 1 to 2 hours.
Wow.
On that thing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because I get really distracted because I would be focused and then I would stop moving and then I would like go back and I was like, oh shit. And then, quickly step forward a few times. Yeah, maybe it's the ADHD or something. I don't know.
I don't get that. I forget I'm on it.
Really?
Yeah.
How fast do you walk though? What's the pace?
3.7. And basically
Oh, okay.
it shuts off after 2 hours, right?
Oh, okay.
And sometimes I'll just be working, I'll be on a call or something, and it all of a sudden it like beeps and stops.
Interesting.
It's like, my God, it's been 2 hours. Like, dude, some days I do 4 hours on that thing.
I think that's my problem then. I do 5 or 6.
Oh, you can't do. That's way too fast.
Okay.
That's way too fast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 4, people are usually around 4. Like 3.7 is kind of slow. It's not too fast. It's just kind of normal. Normal walking speed, pretty much. And yeah, I just forget that I'm on it, man. So
Okay,
that is my saving grace. If I didn't have that, I'd be fat as fuck.
Peter Griffin.
I honestly would. So whoever invented that shit, I mean, I guess it's just a treadmill, but it's fucking awesome.
Interesting. Is there any material things that you want that you feel like you haven't gotten?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Outside of real estate?
I've always wanted a Lamborghini Huracan, right? And I've promised myself that I'm going to buy one when I get my UK forever home, because honestly, it's not even special in Dubai, you know. But in England, it's fucking baller, you know.
But in England, it's dangerous, bro.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, I don't think I'll have it very long. I'll probably buy it, really love it for 3 to 6 months, then get rid of it, you know. But I will do that for absolutely sure.
Interesting.
So really, the next 3 materialistic things that I want is the real estate. It's somewhere here, somewhere Bali, somewhere England. Then I want the Huracan just to get it out of my system, right? And aside from that, what other materialistic stuff do I want? Dude, the only thing that I buy is cigars, really.
Can I give you an argument as to why you should buy the Lambo today?
Sure.
Okay. And in Dubai.
Okay.
So if you buy it in the UK, you want to feel special, but who do you actually interact with in the UK that you would proudly say, oh, I get validation from this person?
No one.
Exactly. Who in Dubai do you interact with that you would proudly tell the world that I get validation from?
All my friends.
There you go. So that's why you should do it in Dubai. Plus
Yeah.
the safety aspect.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, the reason I saw a Tristan Tate clip, right? And he actually influenced me a lot when it comes to spending money. And it's his whole idea of like, you should buy things now because the value of something today is a lot higher than what it's going to be.
It's true.
Like in 5 years' time or whatever, right? That's why I bought the Rari this year, because I was like, I'm under 25. I've never rented a supercar.
Yeah.
Let's buy one.
Yeah.
You know?
That is baller.
Because you can't like replicate that same experience when you're 40.
True that.
And I actually saw like a clip of him saying this, and it was the funniest shit ever to me. So he goes, a few years ago, this kid asked me, it's like, okay, I have $25,000. Do I buy a Bitcoin or a BMW? I've always wanted a fast car. And his advice was, you should buy the BMW because you can't get your dick sucked in the backseat of a Bitcoin. That was the punchline. I was like, yo, that is great. That is a hilarious like example.
So true.
Yeah, but it's true. Like, you know.
Yeah, but now we could have bought 15 BMWs.
No.
Or whatever.
25, like 4. Or like 2.
Yeah.
I don't know how
it
much.
Depends when. It depends when we're talking about. But
True.
I fucking hate Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it, man. I think it's so stupid.
Why?
Well, I mean, it's just think about this, right? A special invisible digital currency comes along and it just goes up in value, like up and up and up and up and up and up forever. Like, and it just, you'd put money in and you just 50x your money. Like, I know that there's more to it than that, but it just seems I just like, how can it exist? Like, why? And we don't even know who made it. It's the sketchiest shit.
Yeah,
it's the sketchiest shit I've ever heard. Like, oh, this special digital invisible currency is going to change the world. It's made by this random guy that no one knows who the fuck he is or where he is or when he even really made it. I know there's all the white papers and whatever people say, but I just do not trust it, man. There's no way that I might put a tiny bit of money in there for safety, just in case, as a hedge. But I've stayed away from it so far.
Interesting.
I think it's not safe, you know. And again, I've said this like 4 times during this talk, but my biggest value is safety and security. You know, so I only invest in boring things that I think are safe and secure. And Bitcoin is not safe and secure, therefore I don't invest in it. Kind of thing. So I guess I've got like an investment thesis that I kind of stand by, I guess. But
interesting.
what do you think?
I think crypto is just nonsense because like, I mean, Doge, what is that? It's no utility. And most crypto, it's like their mission statements is that like nonsense one. It's like, oh, we're going to revolutionize how real estate transactions happen. It's like, actually the revolution requires no like blockchain technology. You could just build it in regular Web 2, right? I don't think the adoption is necessarily going to be there, but is it a great place to just like
Make money.
Yeah. Take money from retail investors.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
But we are also the retail investors. So that's why I don't really delve too deep into it.
Yeah, and dude, we print cash anyway. You know, like this is one question. I'll ask you this, right? Because I love asking this. One thing that I've been thinking a lot about, and increasingly so, is like, you know, how much money do you really need? And, you know, one thing I think about a lot is like my expenses are so low. You know, why don't I just stop working? And obviously I love to work and build like you do, right? But my question for you is this, right? How much money and wealth and stuff do you think you like need to, you know, the switch that I was talking about, to flick that switch off and just feel completely accomplished and fully financially secure and wealthy and set for life? What would that look like to you?
Probably about 100 mil.
100 mil.
Yeah. But not because like my life would change at 100 mil. I don't think it would past like maybe 20.
Yeah.
Because really like beyond, like the next level for you and I really is just to fly private everywhere.
Yeah.
I literally cannot think of any, like maybe owning mega yachts, but I have zero desire for that. Cause like it costs like $1 million to just fuel it.
Yeah.
Like I learned about that. I was like, fuck, that's
And
insane.
The parking of it. And maintenance and it's crazy.
So yeah, it's just flying private really is the next stage. And I think you unlock that at maybe like 20.
20,
30.
This is the thing. The fact that we don't know shows that we've got some thinking to do, right?
Yeah.
Because we should be, you know, like, you should be like, I want a 35 million net worth. I'm going to invest 33 of it. I'm going to keep 2 on hand. That's going to get me this ROI. I'm going to own where I live outright. My expenses are going to be roughly this. You know, this is the depth that I think about, kind of thing.
But do you really think it's important to have that detailed of a plan? Like, for example, I say 100 mil because it sounds good.
Yeah.
100 just sounds clean. You know what I mean? It's not a billion.
Yeah.
Because billion is just long. I can't be asked.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look, depending on how much cash you make and how well you invest it and for how long.
Yeah.
Like, I think that becoming a billionaire is going to become more common.
I agree. I think like, you know, if I get to, let's say 100 mil by 35, it'll compound itself.
You could compound
to,
that
to like a bill.
if you live long enough, yeah.
But it's not like a goal I want to set out for. But even with the 100 mil, do I think I'll actually hit it? Maybe, maybe not. It'll be cool if I do. I'll try. But like, would I be really bothered if I just land in the 20s, 30s? I don't think I would. But then the question becomes like, I really wanted to ask you this. It's like, gun to your head, if you couldn't work for the rest of your life on business and making money, it's not going to be a problem for you. Like money is not going to be an issue for you. What would you actually spend your time on?
What if I couldn't work or do business?
Yeah. Like, what would you spend most of your time on?
Well, I want to say fitness, painting, making music, and probably reading and writing books. I think. Painting.
You've never said that you liked painting.
Oh yeah, I love painting, man.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to write graffiti when I was younger.
Okay.
Right? So I would paint walls, I'd paint trains, all that stuff, and I would paint canvases as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I love how you it's like, oh yeah, we used to paint walls, trains.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but apart from like my obvious friends, but I almost went to prison for graffiti. The 4th time that we got caught, we were painting a train.
TFL really got you.
No, it wasn't Transport for London. We were in Yorkshire. I can't remember the yard that we were in, but it was me and 2 of my buddies, and we'd driven there. We broke into the yard, ran up the tracks, painted this train, and then we were leaving the yard, and we were like, all good. And we were walking back to the car, right? And I'll never forget this. And we got to the car. I got in the car. My buddy James got in the car. We put everything in the boot. My buddy Sam was getting in the back of the car, and a fucking train worker grabbed Sam. A train worker ran after us, grabbed Sam, dragged him out the car. Right?
Oh shit!
Yeah,
okay.
It was fucking crazy. Anyway, we sorted that, and we was driving home, and then police pulled us over, and we got fucked. But
interesting.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
Why paint a train?
Well, because in graffiti, painting trains is where graffiti started, right? So way back in New York, where graffiti started, you would not only, but trains were the thing that you painted, because then the train would go around the city with your name on it.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So you'd paint the train, and then the train would carry your name along the lines and stuff. And painting trains is the hardest thing to do, because you've got to find a yard, you've got to know the yard, you've got to break into the yard, you've got to be careful of the tracks, you've got to get to the trains, paint them, take pictures, and leave. And it's the riskiest thing, and it's the hardest thing. So it's basically the holy grail of graffiti, to paint trains, especially in these harder countries where security is worse. Maybe not the UK, but so that's why we painted trains.
Interesting. I had no idea. You know, like as a kid, I would see, because in China there's no graffiti, because it'll fucking disappear you, bro.
Well,
It's like propaganda.
Yeah.
So when I moved to the UK for the first time, I was in the underground going back to Lewisham where we lived from like the airport. And I was like, oh my God, you can draw on bridges here and like color on trains and shit. I was like,
Yeah.
what a crazy society, you know
Crazy.
what I mean? Out of order.
Yeah. Well,
But-
it is, yeah.
So when I used to see it on trains, I was like, so I thought they literally like cracked the window and then climbed out and then just sprayed it and then jumped back in the train because I was stupid as a kid, you know?
Yeah. Well, there's
crazy.
different ways. There's different places that you can paint trains. You can paint them in a yard. You can paint them at what is called a layup. A layup is where trains stop in certain places for short amounts of time, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So you've got like 20 minutes to paint the train. There was a layup where I used to live in the north. But anyway, we're not here to talk about painting trains. But yeah, I've
How
always...
did this conversation go to painting trains?
I've always loved painting. You know,
Yeah.
in fact, there's a couple of canvases in my apartment right now that I painted myself. So, but then again, I would try and make it into a business. I would want to sell the music. I'd want to DJ and get, maybe not because I wouldn't care about the money, but I would want to perform, which is really business in a way, because you're performing, you're giving a product. I'd want to sell the paintings, which is selling a product.
Sure.
You know, I'd want to sell the books. So it all leads back to business for me,
Interesting.
you know.
I think I would just spend my time, like life doing sports.
Sports.
Yeah, like, oh, let's go spearfishing. Spearfishing is fucking sick.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really recommend it. It's the coolest thing.
Maybe driving cars.
Oh,
That's
okay.
quite fun.
Interesting.
Isn't it? You could just get cool cars and go to car shows and stuff like that. But then again, I would want to make a YouTube channel about it.
Yeah.
And it would all go back to business,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I just don't. So I got asked this, and I thought it was a really interesting question. It made me think, because I was like, I don't think there's anything really worthwhile doing outside of like business related stuff. Because money has made like the biggest impact on my life and my family's life by far.
By far.
You know, because you know, painting doesn't really pay the bills unless you sell it,
Yeah.
which becomes a business.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was quite interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. People say money doesn't make you happy, man. It certainly made me fucking happy.
Interesting. What do you think? What's your travel plans for next year?
Yeah. Travel plans for next year. So January, so I'm going home for Christmas, right? Next week. Then I'll be back here in January. I'm going to crush January, February, because I want to scale the ads, push harder, and just see how big we can go. And then I'm kind of going to chill a bit around March, April. Around March, April-ish, I'm going to go to Bali, I think, for a few months. Well, 1, 2, 3 months. Maybe a bit of Thailand as well. And then probably England to see the family after that. And then back to Dubai, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, probably just Bali and Thailand. But what about you?
No real plans yet. Next year, I want to be a month in Cape Town again, like I did this year. But outside of that, nothing really. I ticked like my 1 month in each city. Over that, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I want to take more like shorter trips, but keep my base in Dubai. One thing I forgot to ask earlier on the business points. What's your split right now in terms of like revenue per channel? So YouTube, IG Reels versus ads.
Yeah.
What's the split there?
So it's about, well, I know it's about 90 odd % organic, 7-8% paid ads right now, for now anyway. And the organic now is split pretty evenly between YouTube and Instagram.
Interesting.
So you could say like, say 45% YouTube, 45% Instagram, 10% ads is pretty fair to say.
Do you notice a difference in close rates between YouTube leads versus Instagram?
I'm going back through Slack in my head because I don't have this data in my head. But, well, YouTube, I'd say even. I'd say it's about even.
Okay.
To be honest, I would. I'm going to get that data actually. I want to know that. But YouTube, it's just so awesome, man. Not having to spend money on ads. It is so awesome. Just when you get a sale, and it's just you're not thinking, oh, how much did that cost, that sale? It's thinking it's just all, take off the closer commission. But yeah, love organic, man.
On the coaching side, are you still fulfilling all of the coaching yourself?
Yeah.
How do you do it? How
I
do you
know
do it?
everybody asks
Like for
me this.
$400K, how do you do it?
Everybody. Well, it's quite counterintuitive. Now, there's the 3 offers that I think you know, but group, one-to-one, and done for you, right? I'll give you an example. So done for you, when someone comes in, let's say you bought it right now, I'd say, right, dude, watch the training program first over the next 7 days, right? Watch all of that. When you've watched it, book a call with me. On the first call, I design everything. I'm like, right, this is the traffic source. This is the funnel. This is how you're going to convert them. We decide course, coaching, the deliverables and price, right? So 1 call. After that 1 call, I put me, them, and my copywriter in a WhatsApp group, and they go to my copywriter for 2 weeks. Then I don't see them at all. When the copy's done, everyone will tell me, and then I'll say, right, well, make the VSL, make the course, produce it, right? When that's done, and we've got the ads and stuff, or the organic content, I'll have maybe 1 more call with them and be like, right, yeah, just get it all out there, put it in a portal, blah, blah, blah. Then they get on a call with my media buyer who sets up and runs their ads for them. So, dude, it takes me like 1 to 2 hours in 6 weeks when a done-for-you client closes.
And they build their own landing pages and stuff, or you guys do that?
We do that for them as well. But in terms of like my time, it's next to none. It's next to none, man.
Okay.
And it's so wildly profitable. One-to-one is a tiny bit heavier. People usually book like about 1 call a week, usually is what people book. Sometimes they won't have a call for a couple of weeks. Sometimes they'll have 2 in a week. I'd say the average is about 1 call a week. And I just do 3 big call days per week, usually like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I'll just take calls all day. Thankfully, I enjoy it, so it's not a burden right now anyway. And the group program's a piece of cake. It's just 2 hours a week, so it's actually fine.
Okay.
It's actually fine, surprisingly, for the numbers that we're doing. I reckon it's going to get hard at about 600 a month.
Okay.
I reckon it'll start to break at about 600, 650, I think. So we'll see.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that's all of my questions, really.
Nice.
Anything
dude.
else?
I think that's it. How long have we been running for?
I don't know. It's been a while.
About
It's
an
an hour and a half.
hour 20. I'll ask you one more.
Okay.
Do you think you'll stay in Dubai?
You know what? The plan originally was to stay here for like 3 to 5 years, but the more I think about it, the more I think it's more so long term, because what is the alternative? That's the problem.
True that.
Like, I love Cape Town. I love London. Cape Town is just nice. It's a lovely city, but it's dangerous.
Yeah.
There's problems with it.
Yeah.
It's also in the fucking like most southern part of Africa. So to travel to anywhere, it's just like a 10-hour flight, So it makes it really like pretty much a deal breaker. I don't like the time zones of Southeast Asia. And also, I'm just not a fan of Bali. You could die on a scooter. Like one of my client's business partners, he delayed onboarding for 2 weeks because his business partner died on a scooter.
No.
Yeah.
What how?
Just accidents happen,
Wow,
Like,
that's bad.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't like the safety aspect there. And then the traffic, if you're in a car to mitigate for safety,
Long.
good luck,
Long. Yeah.
US, I don't think I would want to live there because I'd have to pay US taxes. There's just a bunch of issues there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And then London, I'd love to live in London, but no. I think the safety is completely fine. I think people overhype that. But I don't like the mindset in the UK right now, or just in Europe in general. And the taxes is crazy. So what
it's true.
I literally cannot think of a place that is better than Dubai.
Yeah, you're completely right. Another one of my buddies was saying this. He was saying, like, I like America because you can get a massive, massive mansion for very cheap, but I don't like the taxes and blah, blah. I like England for the countryside, but I don't like, the other bits about it. I like Thailand for this, but it's bad for this. So I think, and he said the same thing. He said Dubai ticks the most boxes of any place.
With the exception of nature.
With the exception of nature, and it's very expensive.
But you save on taxes, bro.
But you do save on tax.
Like,
yeah,
it's basically free to live here.
Yeah.
In comparison to Europe.
That is true.
Even 20% corporation tax.
Yeah.
That
is true. I remember I was looking at a penthouse in Manchester and it was like £2 million. That in the marina would be like £8 million.
What?
Oh, yeah. For the same...
Which tower in Manchester? Deansgate?
Beetham Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for one of the biggest, the top floor.
Yeah, that was your first office address, right?
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, it was. But it's so annoying that, you can get that there, but you can't get it here. But obviously it's obvious why you can get it there, because it's fucking Manchester.
Yeah.
It's not Dubai Marina.
Yeah.
The thing that really makes me happy about Dubai is the weather, man. I love, in the morning, you open the curtains and you can see the water, see the yachts. It's sunny, it's blue skies. You just feel...
Today, I got out of the car, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Weather's good.
Such a good feeling.
Yeah, 100%.
Such a good feeling, man.
Yeah, I'm going to UK tomorrow.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going back to London. Wednesday, I'm going Iceland for 4 days.
Why?
Just with my girl for fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
never been. I'm really curious about traveling to like random places like Antarctica.
Yeah.
So I think I'll make that happen next year.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good use of money, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, that's all my questions.
Absolutely, bro. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Will.
Loved it. Really fun, brother.
Catching up with you.
Really fun.
And we'll see each other soon.
100%.